Hello viewer, welcome to this week's edition of People with Disability. People with Disability is a program that is designed to educate the public on issues affecting individuals with disability. Today, we are discussing the rights of people with disability. I am your host, Precious Cherechi Titus, and you're watching MBS TV. I'm pleased to welcome our guest, Dr. Chidera Titus. He's a dedicated advocate for people living with disability. Welcome to the program, Doctor.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
To start, can you share with us your understanding of the term disability?
All right. According to the World Health Standard or the World Health definition for disability, so the World Health definition for disability is any condition or any impairment that affects a person's ability to participate fully in the society and to engage in activities and roles that are of value to the society and the culture. So that is it for the World Health. But if you ask me what I understand by the word disability, I would say it's any condition that significantly impacts on a person's physical, cognitive, emotional, and societal role, so that affect their daily lives and interactions.
In your World Health definition of disability, you mentioned impairment. Can you break it down to a level that a layman could understand?
Okay. Impairment means disadvantage or a challenge that happens to a person's body. It can also, you can call it disease, but I don't want to use the name disease. So it's something, let's say he has a physical disadvantage in his own body, or maybe he's sick in his body, a condition, a disease condition like that. It may not necessarily be a disease condition, but something that affects him and make him not to be comfortable with life the way it should be. So it can be an impairment.
So would you classify, thank you very much, would you classify mental illness as a disability?
All right. Like I said before, disability is anything that significantly, or any condition that significantly impacts a person's physical life, cognitive life, emotional life, and social life.
Okay.
So to say mental health, we talk about the cognitive domain here. So and this cognitive domain have to do with the mind, has to do with the intellect and your sense organs. So if a person's mind is disoriented, you see, he cannot be able to do life normally again. So and there are two kinds of mental illness. We have the mild one, which is called neurosis, and we have the wild one, which is called psychosis. So neurosis is a mild mental disorder. The person can still be normal, dress well, do things well, but you that is close to him will know that this person is not normal, or within him you'll be having some obsession with his life like that.
And they don't roam about the streets?
No, they don't roam about the streets. You can live with them at home. They can live well, dress well, even go to work well. Sometimes even at home, too much of quarrel, temperament, high temperament like this. So some juvenile delinquencies like this. Some of those things are mild mental disorder. So this person is still normal, is living normal, but...
So that means you're in support of the saying that many are mad, but few are roaming on the street.
Well, I don't want to say mad like the name mad,
Okay.
but I can say they are mentally affected or mentally challenged. So the wild one, which is the psychosis, is when this person has gone full-blown haywire, roaming the street or creating problem up and down, is now dangerous and injurious to his surrounding.
That's what? What do you mention it again? What do you say?
Psychosis.
Psychosis, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can say madness is disability because it affects the person's cognitive domain. That's his mind, the mind of the person. So this person is not reasoning well, is not thinking well, he's not organized. His speech. If a person's mind is affected, his speech also is also affected.
You're right.
He cannot be organized. He will be talking incoherently. He cannot organize himself and speak well. He can't dress well. He cannot live well with people around. So you will say this is a disability, this mental problem. It is.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are the rights of these people with disability? What are their rights?
All right. So they have right, because you see, people living with disability, we will continue to have them in our midst. And they are people, they are drawn from our relatives, our loved ones, our blood relations, our friends and acquaintances. So we will have them, and they have their right as far as they are alive. So they have their right. And what are these their rights? Their rights have legal backing,
Okay.
and social implications that both the government is supposed to look into them, and then also we on our own as families and surroundings.
Sorry to cut in. So when you say they have legal backing, do you mean they can sue anybody who infringe on their rights?
What I mean by this is that by the UN standard, so UN is a body that is known for it's called United Nations. So it's like a body that oversees the affairs of countries that are under it. Okay. So it has a backing from the UN organization. So I think as of 2006, there was a right for that for people or persons living with disabilities. Okay. So they have right. And one of the rights is that they have is rights. They have right to health care and rehabilitation.
Okay.
So in this aspect of healthcare, people that are facing disability condition, they need to be given proper health care. They need to be attended to, well taken care of. At least the hospital is supposed to be close by.
That's true.
The government is supposed to have hospitals for people with disabilities. People are not supposed to be thinking, where are we going to carry this person to now? Another aspect of the right is they have one of the rights covered is their access to education and employment. Okay. So these people should be educated properly, because they can be of great impact to the society. What do I mean? You see, in the aspect of healthcare, education, as far as the person's mind is okay, it just has to do with maybe the limbs or the physical aspect of the body. So as far as the person's mind is okay, he can understand something. Okay. So he needs to be trained. So from this training, he can be gainfully employed. So the right covered that they should be employed. People should not send them away and say, no, this person, no. It's the mind. So like your maybe office secretary, they can do typewriting for you. They can even to present like this on television programs. So many things, there are many things they can do intellectually with their mind, though their body will restrict them, but their mind. So that means they need to be educated and employed. Another right is that they need to be protected from stigmatization and discrimination. Okay. There's a lot of stigmatization and discrimination. Say, no, this person, we don't want him to work here. We can't, no, you see, in this kind of case now,
it's too bad.
It's too bad. So when they are being stigmatized and discriminated, then the next thing is suicide. Because what is life? What is worth living for? Yes. Nothing more. There are other rights. What are rights to participate in politics and decision making? Okay. It doesn't mean that because they are physically challenged, their mind also is challenged. No. So they can read, write, they can study very well and bring solution to the society, to the environment, to the community.
What you're saying is that a president, a crippled, can be a president?
He may not necessarily be a president, but he can be an advisor. Yes.
Why can't he be a president?
An assistant, because as a president, the work is heavy. You need to move around, go and inspect projects, go around to offices.
He can assign people to do that?
There are some works that are meant for the president himself to go around to do. So he has to go. So not every work you need to assign people to. So aside that, they also have right to independent living. Okay. They can live their life free of fear. So they have right to independent living. They can live on their own, they can marry, they can give birth to children, they can procreate, take care of their own children. So that's one of the rights. So people that are disabled should not just be denied right to life because they are disabled. No. There are many people marrying and taking care of their family.
So as a person who is fully able, complete as you are, can you, as a person, sorry to say, can you marry a blind woman or a disabled, a crippled woman?
Well, it has not gotten to that extent because this has to do with your emotion, your love. If I am affected to them, I have affection towards such a person, anything can happen. But now my affection has not gone to that aspect. But there are a lot of people that have affection towards, this affection comes from daily interaction. You interact with people like that around you, and in a little while you see love begin to grow. So within the two of you can decide, and the person will say, okay, I can manage it, I can be able to assist her in doing this, or I'll get a maid for her. So you see, she can be married. The man can also be married. So you get vehicles and then you take it to the mechanic. They will know how to do some adjustments there such that this person can be able to drive this car comfortably. Sometimes ago I was watching a video where somebody who doesn't have hands is using his legs to drive car and also use his leg to type and write. There's somebody, he's popular, his name is Nick Vujicic. I think he's a pastor. So you see him on stage with microphones. You see him doing so many things. And this person doesn't have both hands and legs, he just have one little part of his body that he used both for leg and hand. So and life has always been well for him. He's doing very well. Okay. So you can go through the media and search for his name, Nick Vujicic, you will see him. So that can be an encouragement to people with disabilities.
If you're just joining us, you're watching MBS TV. And my name is Precious Cherechi Titus. We've been discussing on the rights of people living with disability. With me here in the studio is Dr. Chidera Titus, who is our guest, and he has been doing justice to this topic. We'll take a short break. When we return, discussion continues.
Can't promise. That's a dead man. This one, and you die a swan. Just about him, I will ya media. I hold my chin with the witty to me swat. On a board in a mapia. They can't sumo me song. In lobby care, can me back home. They can't sumo Moko Dawn. They draw me against Bafo. You can't chase my life. Ever since she came out, I never felt this way before. Yeah, I'm Moko boy, daddy. See, baby, I go hold you. I keep your heart, girl. I never let you go.
Welcome back from that break. So, Doctor, before the break, you said people with disability have rights and it is legally backed up. So, what happens if these rights are tampered with or infringed upon?
All right.
You mentioned that they have rights to education and employment. So, what happens if these rights are infringed upon?
Thank you very much. If their rights are infringed upon,
yes,
they can seek legal redress.
Okay.
And they can also go to relevant bodies. Relevant bodies. There are bodies for persons living with disability,
okay,
which will speak for them, that will give them voice.
How can they locate these bodies?
No, they are around.
Okay.
They are around. Just that when their rights are infringed upon, what will happen is that they will be able to see one or two people who will be able to assist them. There are people that are educated and uneducated.
Okay.
There are educated people living with disabilities, and there are uneducated. So it's easier for the people educated because they know what to do. That's why we want people that are disabled to be properly educated. Then the uneducated now can have relatives or people. Just that we have the kind of society that is also friendly to people with disabilities in our country. You cannot be manhandling a disabled in the public, and the public will keep quiet. So the public will even rise up to defend the person, and there you can get somebody who will be able to speak up for you. But aside that, if they are happening secretly, so you can get a lawyer for yourself, or go to these bodies who can be able to help you to seek a redress. But far from that, sometimes things that are happening to people that are disabled, you see, people create this fear into them that if you don't do this one, I'm not going to help you to do this one, because many of them are poor.
Okay.
So they can't fight for themselves.
That's true.
So that's why they need help also. And they should be able to look for somebody around them who they can confide in. If they have the person who they can confide in, such a people can be able to help them to the places they need to go to.
Okay.
And then they will be helped.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
So what can they do to protect these rights? What can they do to protect their rights?
All right. They can do a lot of things. The relevant bodies, they should be part of those bodies, because when they are not part of those bodies, they won't be recognized. There are bodies that are known for regulating the activities of people living with disabilities, also giving them a voice to fight for them. So, for the educated ones, just like we are having on stage, we are talking about people with disability now. You can be aware of bodies like that and participate or get yourself involved with them. So people with disabilities are supposed to be given their own day, which they can be able to move around, and also they can be able to do a lot of things for themselves. So this right is covered by the law, and when they go to these relevant bodies, they will be able to speak on their behalf. Aside that, also many church organizations and other public organizations are also doing their best to give them a voice. So their rights are well covered.
So lastly, what would you advise parents, the society, the government in supporting people with disability? And what would your message to people with disability be?
All right. My message to people with disability, or the government first and other relevant stakeholders, is inclusivity.
Okay.
The people living with disability need to be involved. They should be fully involved. So the government should involve them. They should look out for them and help them. A lot of people are dying in silence. They are committing suicide secretly. They are going through depression. Because, I mean, the cost of living now is not funny.
That's true.
That's for somebody that is able-bodied. How much more a disabled person who can't be able to go out? So all we do is to relegate them to the roadside with what they'll be using to beg. No. As far as the mind of this person can function well, they should go to school. Government should build schools. Schools like, we thank God for the past administration who built school for special people. So I mean the administration of Tonko Almakura. So government should be involved. Build schools, special schools, schools for the blind, deaf, and other forms. So, and there should be teachers. Teachers should be trained specially to teach blind people. They should be trained specially to teach deaf people. So, and they should be well paid.
Okay.
To encourage people to be able to go to those kind of schools. Psychiatric homes should be built. We're not supposed to be having mad people everywhere on the street. It's supposed to be public enlightenment campaign for youths that are into drugs. Drugs can cause mental problem. When it causes mental problem, you see, we'll be having a lot of youth, young people who are supposed to be important to the society, roaming all around from one dustbin area to other. So it's not proper. And this is what the government is supposed to do. So the government is supposed to give it attention. Maybe create ministries for that. Ministries for persons living with disability. Yes, they can create it. and then use the opportunity to solve these problems in the society.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chidera,
You're
for
welcome.
joining us. All right, viewer, this is going to be the size of our discussion on people with disability, where we discuss the rights of people living with disability. Thank you very much, Doctor, for joining us today.
You're welcome.
And with this, we've come to the end of our program. But don't forget, disability is not weakness. It is not personal weakness. People with disability have got potentials. So the society should help in harnessing these potentials. On behalf of our entire production crew and our producer, I am your host, Precious Cherechi Titus, signing off. Bye for now.